good evening, and welcome to Love SA with me, Pastor Strike. It's a Saturday evening. You know, an evening like this, I should be bringing on the other was. But you know what? Because of my passion and my love for education and the fact that our children are going to the school for higher learning, I thought it wise to make sure that we host Love SA. You know, Love SA talks about your contribution in building better South Africa in any possible way, be it in academia, be it in vocational skills, be it in talent or in entertainment, at whatever, be it spiritual, but whatever field you find yourself contributing to the good of this great and awesome nation. That is why I am so passionate about Love SA, encouraging people to contribute. I think it's one of the American presidents who said, "Do not ask your country what it can do for you, but ask yourself, what is it that I can do for my country?" That attitude helps us to contribute. And as contributors, I tell you, we'll have a great nation. I take this time to welcome you all, our listeners on Gold Moves Radio, our viewers on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Thank you so very much. In this program tonight, we have a guest that I respect dearly because of her bio. And I will give her an opportunity to tell us exactly where she has been and what she has been doing. But I want to welcome you all. Parents, I beg you to pay attention because the information we're going to share today here is very, very valuable. And of course, learners, and those of you who are at home, you did not get admission in institutions where you wanted to go. Here we are going to talk about approaching education and training holistically, so where we are going to help each other to know that there are different fields and there is no field that is inferior to the other. While we pushing on our normal education days, vocational training, education and training, which that's my background. And because of that background, it has positioned me so well to create jobs for other people when I was still practicing my skill. But it has also positioned me very well when it comes to me as a pastor, when it comes to building the structures, positioning me so very well. This evening, we have the CEO of VHEMBE Tvet colleges, and she is here as our wonderful guest, and she's going to take us through a lot of things that we do not necessarily know. I must say, it's unfortunate that in the main, we do not have the clear and the right picture of the Tvet colleges. We have treated Tvet colleges as a dumping site. You know, when somebody is not doing well, ako ay lo islaba akitlaswa maboko. O ato ifinya zanda, sa finya zanda ya kare. Yo yaka usiyoskwena matlala. As if it's a place where people that are struggling have to be pushed through. But I must say, to date, we are gifted differently. And it is important for us to expose our children so that they are able to make responsible choices. Good evening and welcome, CEO Basani Shekani. Good evening to you, man.
And good evening to you, and good evening to your listeners, your YouTube and your Facebook friends.
Thank you so very much for coming through. It's what an honor to have you. We know it's hectic. The beginning of the year is very hectic. But, I even thought we're going to connect virtually, but the office told me, no, she will be coming in person, and that tells of your passion. But before we even dive deep into the programs that you offer as a college and all the colleges that you oversee, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, thank you and good evening again. I'm Basani Mangolele, and my other surname is Tlekani. So the reason why I'm saying Mangolele is just for people to understand where I come from. I grew up in a village called Dabula Tlangelani. Those I was born there, grew up there until I finished my matric, and then moved to Gauteng just to learn. In terms of my educational background, I've studied at the what we used to call Technicon. I got an opportunity to study at the university, and I also did issues on colleges. So I have vast knowledge on how each those of institutions work and what you learn from there. But just to indicate that my passion ended up being in college. So the reason for that is I used to say I know this, but I've changed to say I can do this. And that's actually the passion that I have in terms of the skills. So in terms of myself, I did work at a Tvet college. I did work in high school. I actually did a lot. I taught also as an tutor at UNISA, the university. That's why I'm saying I know a little bit of that. But the biography that suits what we are to talk about today is more of my traveling that made me to learn. So I started it here when I was doing my degrees. So I studied with UNISA, University of Limpopo, your old TNT, which is your TUT now. But I just sat down and say, you know what, I am tired of knowing. I just want to do. So I actually branched to say I want to do skills. So I've topped up my knowledge that I learned in university with come back and see what can I do for South Africa? What can we do? So I worked in Gauteng for I think 17 years, and now I'm back in Limpopo because I just realized that in Gauteng you can do something, but we are lacking. And I'll talk about some of the things why I'm implementing what we're implementing at the college and why is the college the way it is, and also to indicate that you don't need to be in Cape Town, you don't need to be in Gauteng for you to learn. There are things that are happening around the corner where you are. You just need to actually open up and just go there and find out information. So, in a nutshell, that's who I am. I actually grew up in a family of five. We're five at home. My mom and dad are still alive, very passionate. It's an education family. And all my brothers, we just love education, all of us. But I just decided to branch a little bit to skills. And I think I'm happy to work with skills to date. Thank you.
See, that's the thing. You're passionate working with skills. Um, what has been your experience to start with, even before we dive deep? Being in academia, you've been lectured in the University of South Africa, you've worked in schools, but now let's talk of vocational schools or vocational training and skills and all that. What has been your experience, and tying it up also with your traveling, because honestly you've been around. What is it that you have experienced before we even now come to VHEMBE Tvet College, where you are really stretching your muscles?
Okay, my experience is first I've been a lecturer. I know what is it to be a lecturer. I've been there when colleges were moving from technical colleges to further education and training colleges, and also now the TVET, which is the technical and vocational education. So I've been there when those changes were being made by the parliament. And moving from a lecturer, obvious, you move through ranks in a college. But let me talk more about not teaching and learning, but I'll just indicate that the skills that I was doing when I was at the college, I was in an accounting field. So I was interested more in doing innovating accounting, like your computerized file system. So that's why I'm saying I wanted to learn to do. Then I felt I've got a knowledge. So it started there because I went out and do some programs that were not you could not do at a technical and university, which is your payroll. This you will do with private institutions, but I realized that it was actually learning more, and the department now started taking them in. The other experience that I had is I was more on the commercial side, but I helped myself to learn more on the engineering side, where I had to manage a project where there was Marian Roberts, your WBHO, your Group 5. I had to manage the training that had to do with that. And then I started moving along the construction and engineering fields. I had to study some programs. I remember I had to do the costing, the quantity costing myself because of accounting. So it started moving there. I moved through the ranks of how students are assessed, how innovation is being done in relation to that. So also to bring in, how do you bring in technology? And I think today we'll talk about more for those students that are at tech vocational about their employability part. I was able to move into to be in places where there's employment. Like for example, you stay in a cruise. You while you are there, you're not enjoying what is happening. You think about your education. You interview people to say, "Oh, you are a chef here. How did you get appointed?" They tell you that I've done a program that is to do with city and guilds, whatever. And when I come back now, I said, you know what? Let's Google city and guilds. What do they do? When you are in other places, like I remember when you are in planes, you start interviewing people to say, oh, what does it take you to be here? That's when now I start about the drones and all those things. And you can't believe that we are actually also introducing issues of aviation where we are. So every time I was doing my traveling, whenever it's a holiday or anything else, that education part was always coming into me. I remember I was in Thailand at one stage. I became interested in how the basic education grew up, how is their system growing up. And also in China, I'll go there for vocational, but I'll want to know from the beginning, how do we end up having the students that made a choice to I'll go to their economic structures. I'll go to the port and ask them to say, how do you end up here? What is the production going? So vocational education, in my experience, it was just more about holistic issue, looking at the country holistically and want to feature in to say what role that Tvet colleges or vocational education plays in this country being successful, or in this country that was like us before end up where it is it's growing. I remember when I was in China, we were in a particular place. They said this used to be a capital city of China, but now it has moved to Beijing. So I wanted to know what made Beijing to be what it is today better, because where I was, I thought it's actually good enough for me to be the capital city. And they said, wait until you see Beijing, because then I wanted to know that you guys were not here. What happened? Same applies to other countries. I wanted to know that when you look at their currency, like in Thailand, the unemployment rate is very high. But you've got doers there who doesn't wait for government, who doesn't wait for anything else. And you interview them and to say, how do you happen? It's like they tell you that we went to school, there's unemployment, but we come back and do for yourself. I also learned the issues of entrepreneurship in my experience. I think that was in London, where in a Tvet college, there's an office, it's called Job Shop. You just interview them. What do you do here? The other passion that I was actually taught and experienced just to learn and live with students with disability. So there's a lot that we have implemented, because I said anything that any person can do, everybody has to do it, despite of your situation. So the experience was like too vast in a Tvet college in Pretoria. Some of the things come back. So I arrive in a stage, I think, at a particular level where I applied for a position, deputy principal or deputy CEO academic services. But I specifically applied in Limpopo because I wanted to come home and say, look, I've got all this. What am I doing for my young sisters at home? What am I bringing home? So that passion came back. And then from there, I think in 2015, I became the acting CEO, and then from the CEO, and I said, you know what, here's an opportunity, let me utilize it. So from 2016, when I was acting, all the things that we normally talk about has been implemented within the 5 years. And I just want to say to the listeners, it's doable at home, because the technology that we have around the VHEMBE district, it's unbelievable. My experience is that if you have a passion and believe in yourself, there's no barrier that is called rural. There's no barrier that is called anything. You just need to tell yourself you can do it. And I think that has been my experience of being motivated. My father, I think, played a major role. My father is one person that it doesn't matter whether he knows or not. When you come back or he wants to know, tell me. You say, Dad, you want to understand? They say, make me understand.
Make me understand.
So it's like you want to understand that what you are doing is somebody benefiting out of it.
Oh, yes.
You can't keep the knowledge with you, and he wants to know that are you benefiting somebody with what you're doing, and he will always encourage you. So in whatever you do, there's a school at home that you must always, explain to him to say, like after the radio, he said, what is a drone? So now I had to explain the issues of drone and when did I learn about this thing. So it's all about the passion and also a go-getter, because government doesn't have money. But my experience is you must write proposal, go-getter, and then you get funding to be able to do. So I'm just saying to the listeners to say, my experience in Tvet colleges. I'm not saying I wasted my time, but my combination of knowledge from all, I think the one with Tvet College, it's working for me.
Yes.
And it's the one that is taking me to, because when I started being recognized, it's when I went out and started doing these programs with Tvet colleges so that I can be able to do what, like when I applied for position, they'll say, oh, you also have this. It's like I was becoming unique to other colleagues that I studied with at university. I had this little thing from Tvet College that they were looking for all the time. And when you become in a database, you started being hunted to say, oh, you've got this quantity costing, you've got this assessor, you've got. So I was like a selected lecturer somewhere else in such a way that I ended up declining the part-times that I had because I just believed it was too much. But it was not because of what I had like others. It was because I had this little thing from the college that was additional to me. So that has been my actually working experience. But I wanted to come back and try everything that I've learned, but I'll always select this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, and I move on like that.
To be honest, CEO, VHEMBE Tvet College is the state of the art type of a college. You know, I was shocked when I saw some of the equipments, like you talk of the 3D printers, you talk of the robots, you know, and I thought, is this thing right here? And now I understand, because sometimes the barriers will be, hey, we are a rural college and things like that, but your heart makes you go all out, knock doors, and get good equipments and bring them home. Before we even go further, there is a belief, or let me say, there's been this understanding which is wrong. Of course, we might have inherited it, that Tvet colleges, back then they were called technical colleges or Ambach. It's for people who cannot learn or who can only do something with their hands. What can you say to parents today? Having adopted schools and worked with schools, I always encouraged principals and teachers that, please, there is a way of motivating children, but we must do it right, and we must not promote something wrong, because some will say, no one is going to a college here, no one is going to a Tvet here, you all going to varsity, you are varsity material. And I said, we are wrong, because it's like Tvet or colleges are of inferior standard. What can you say to parents with all what you've just said, with the exposure that you have, with how you have equipped the college itself? Because I'm going to also love to flight some of the things or some of the facilities. I'm trying also to have it. Yeah, it is one of it. And it's unfortunate that you cannot see it, but this looks like a, something for her, because it's where you can sit and you can let me for the sake of you going through it, show you what are these.
Okay, this is saloon, state of art saloon.
Yeah,
you can
because
see.
I'm seeing this is just something else. What can you say to parents, breaking the myths and the misconceptions and the misunderstanding about Tvet colleges or vocational education and training?
Listeners, it's actually difficult to explain. As I said, we in Tvet colleges, we are doers. What I can say to parents is that Tvet colleges provides knowledge and skills. When you come out of the college, you know and you can do it. So the students that are coming out of a Tvet college, any Tvet college, they are ready for three things. They are ready to be employed. They are ready to further their studies with other higher institution of learning. And they are also ready to be employers themselves by starting their business. So I just want to say to the parents, encourage your kids to apply both Tvet college and also universities. So they mustn't apply at universities, and when they did not get admission. They want to come to Tvet colleges. Allow me, Pastor, to give an example. We have made VHEMBE to be the first choice.
Oh, yes.
No student start by going university and now you have to come back to VHEMBE. You must decide from where you are to say you are coming to VHEMBE, and that's it, because you are given free, and we are receiving that, because this year only last year we had 23,000 applications online. So I will say to parents, there's nothing wrong in going to university if you succeed, but I'm just saying don't overlook Tvet colleges, because you're going to come out of Tvet college having a diploma, but the knowledge and skills on practicals that you're going to have when you go there, it's amazing. Like, for example, those that are doing electrical engineering, when you become an artisan, you have all certificate. You're no longer, looking for someone to come and certify the work that you have done. You even get an opportunity for you to certify. So the opportunities that we have, that for the students that we produce there, are they actually key evidence? I'm going to give you an example. We always on newspapers. Our students are always getting scholarship in USA. You can see, and when we ask them, where did you study? They'll say, I studied at this campus. They'll just mention the name of campus, but you realize that they'll say, I'll never went to Cape Town. I was on SABC at one stage with one student. They say, no, the university people who studied construction, when they come to public works, they meet me, I inspect what they do and say, yeah, you demolish. You didn't do the correct right. Because sometimes, when it comes to doing, they rely on other people. So the biggest opportunity is that you've got 3 pathways when you leave the Tvet college. And the one that is booming most now is that those students are starting their own companies and they're being successful. And we've got evidence in relation to that. Employability. Employability, because of the skills and the spice up for 4th industrial revolution that is popping up in colleges. As you indicated, we've got robots. It makes them to be having this little thing additional on top of the knowledge that they actually learn when they get there. So the skills that they learn from colleges have been upped and beefed up in such a way that it actually assists. The students from the Tvet colleges, they benefit the same way with universities. There's NSFAS that pays for everything if you are eligible to get that funding. They pay for your tuition fees, you get the books, I'll call it mahala. They give you accommodation, they give you allowance. So it doesn't matter where the Tvet college is, because NSFAS will always provide you with the necessary resources for you to be able to study. The only thing that they just need to do, they must apply. We're also doing going all out to make sure that Tvet colleges are known. I'll be doing schools from Thursday, where I need to meet with a grade 12, because I need to motivate them that even from the rural area, because I'm from a village myself, but I became where I am not because not because I know. It's because I had a passion that I need to learn how to do things, and it's actually working. So it's doable wherever you are. You need not to rush and say, I need to go to Cape Town, I need to go. Just around where you are. And as I said, VHEMBE Tvet College is one of them. And you indicated that when you get there, there are workshops, there are practicum rooms, and that people can be able to learn. And evidence is in our students. When you go around and ask the panel beaters around you, you ask the people who are owning construction companies, you ask your mechanical engineers, the owner might have studied somewhere, but talk to the people who are working within the industry, they'll tell you where they study. Wow. I've interviewed some in the cruise, and it was a Caribbean cruise, and I was very shocked when I learned they're from South Africa, that they studied at the college. Wow. And that actually gave me a passion to say, you're not on the wrong field, keep on moving, get more to the cruise. And that's true. When I come back, I implemented the programs of City and Guild, and I saw my students going to USA, whom the hotels came back and absorbed after that. And I was happy to learn that those hotels, they employ chefs. They said to me, Ms. Lekani, your students are not going to be called chefs, they're going to be called head chefs, because they can do. So most of our students in those hotels, they are actually head chefs, because they've got a lot of knowledge. When we take people on stipend, the sitters will give you a particular stipend, but we hearing companies says, no, we felt we need to top up the students because they are doing a lot. Wow. So even at the college, we are running our own hospitality. We no longer book out conference. We're doing our own conferencing so that the student can be able to learn practicals on the spot. So I'm just saying, go out and look for colleges. You'll be surprised what knowledge and skills your kids are going to bring along.
Our viewers and our listeners, I must be honest with you. I sit here and what the CEO is saying, I'm a witness to that. Just last week, some of you were with us on Zoom. We had one of the young men who, from a Tvet college, and because he has been in the church, we even knew that he did not pass his matric. Well, in fact, he passed because he got the higher certificate. And he was a little bit discouraged. And I remember when his friends were going varsity and they went, just like that. And his father spoke to him and he went to a Tvet college. Guess what? I think it was 2019. He got a scholarship. He went to China. The whole year he was in China when this corona broke loose. He was in Wuhan, and unfortunately, but he came back. And guess what now? He's in the US now. Got another scholarship. He's in the US. And he was saying to me, here I've got some of my brothers and sisters from South Africa. They are from UP, UCT. And I've said, hey, you came through, you are from a college, you're from a Tvet. He said, no, yeah, we are. We are on the same scholarship. I must be honest, because the reason I was saying to the CEO, what would you love to say to parents? What would love to say addressing this, the myth or the misunderstanding or it has been almost a stigma when you have to go to a Tvet. I must be honest with you, these are economic drivers today. And you talk technology, these are the people that are on top of things. And I would love to say, thank you, CEO. And we're taking this commercial break. And when we come back, we are continuing. And we are going to look now at the programs that you offer at VHEMBE Tvet. And you will dive in deep. I know she's so passionate. And the time that we have is not even enough. But I must say now, she was coming for Minkondi, I think was it, because I just want us to zoom into her life. She has given us a bio, but you ain't had nothing because there's a lot about her. But today, we just want to look at VHEMBE Tvet College, where she's the CEO and the principal. And I just want us to take this commercial break. And when we come back, we continue. This is the program, Love SA. And Miss Basani Hlekani, she's doing it very well, passionate, finding something good out there, bringing it home.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Thank you so very much. You're listening to Bold Moves Radio, boldly breaking barriers and limitations, raising the flag of hope for an African child. That's our punchline. And we are in conversation with the CEO of VHEMBE Tvet College, Miss Basani Hlekani, a very passionate woman, a hard worker, a go-getter, which is very much important. In the sense that whatever she finds out there, she says, let me take it back to South Africa. And hence we have the state-of-the-art type of a college right in the deep rural Alipompo. It reminds me of one lady. She was in media, and she came over when we were still having television, and somebody called her and said, hey, where are you? She said, I'm here in the Bundus. I must be honest with you. You come to Lipompo, you will see things, and you come to VHEMBE Tvet College, you'll see things. CEO, tell us now of the programs that you are offering. Exactly what you have said already. And talking about a chef, I have a father here, and I'll let him talk. This man, his son wanted to go on, do culinary, and guess what? He is into engineering, structural engineering. And he said, are you sick, boy? Are you sick? He wanted the boy to pursue the line which was appealing to him. Unfortunately, he came and he said, "Can you imagine my son? He says he wants to go to a culinary training and he wants to be a chef." I said, "Hey, now what is the problem with that?" He said, No. A boy, for that matter, cooking. What is that?" I said, "You don't understand. Your son has chosen this line he's passionate about and he can just do well." I'm talking today. The young man has been working in Cape Town after he completed. Now he's got an offer of a cruise. He will be cruising the world and he just got his visa for the United States. Hey, I must say to our children, I must say to our parents, please, the globe is, we're saying we're living in a global village. Let us stretch ourselves. Let us get to know what is happening and let us allow our children also to think and let us give them the right perspective of everything. CEO, let's talk about the programs that you offer with at VHEMBE Tvet College.
Okay, thank you. The programs that we offer at the Tvet College, I'll just start by, the structures to say we've got something that we call formal programs. Formal programs are those that when you complete, you get, certificates per level, you end up getting a diploma at the end of the day. We've got informal programs. Those formal programs mostly start at a particular time. You write exams, an external exam. They will start in January. Sometimes others will start in May. Others will start in June. You can apply at any time. Some are year course, trimesters, and semester. Those are formal programs, and normally those the minister funds them, and they are actually funded by NSFAS. We also do have some programs that are called occupational programs. Occupational programs leads you to get to be an artisan in most cases. I'll advise most people to say, if you have done an occupational program, make sure that you don't drop on the way. You end up in getting that certificate that is called that is for artisan, like your wireman license. You do the trade test and all those. So we also have other skills programs that are short skills program, your 3 months, your 12 months, your learnership, and your apprenticeship. So we also have those, and they are also funded. So in most cases, when they are funded, those that are eligible, it means you're going to study for free, you're going to get a stipend, and everything that you need as a resource will be covered by those funding. But now to name them, in engineering, VHEMBE Tvet College specializes in your welding, your civil engineering, and there we've got your masonry and tiling, we've got your bricklaying, we've got your carpentry, we've got roads and construction. We under mechanical engineering, we've got your automotive, we've got your fitter antenna that we are actually also doing the electrical engineering. We've got your heavy light, current, and heavy. And you go to hospitality, you'll find tourism, the issues of hospitality, you'll find there. We are introducing now what you were showing me, the salon. Why the salon? Obviously, we are getting into the spa. When you check around every province, our sisters and brothers from outside are conquering that space, and we need to bring it back home and let our own study to do that professionally. So we are introducing that now. We also have your business, your commercial programs, like your secretarial, your business management, your financial management. But let me talk more about the engineering part. We also have the Center for Entrepreneurship, which I think in the process we'll be talking about that. What does the Center of Entrepreneurship do? So when we talk about the skills program, these I normally call Spice Up programs, to say when you leave VHEMBE Tvet College, the programs that I spoke about, you go to any Tvet college, they make choices around that. But we decided to make ourselves an institution of choice by spicing up some of the programs. That makes us to be unique, to be recognized, and all those things. One of the programs that we offer, as you indicated, there's robotics there. We've just introduced a formal program in robotics. We've got, which you are correct to say, when you come to VHEMBE Tvet College, you will really find these robots and manufacturing robots. We have cybersecurity. We've got your 3D printing, which when you come to the college, we've got your makerspace. At the makerspace, we've got a printing machine that prints in a glass and also prints in a wood. The special around the makerspace is that it's more fourth industrial issues in such a way that you sit in a computer and program what you want to do. By the time you're producing, you just press the button because you have coded already. So there's a lot of programs that we are doing. Our welding, it's already working with coding. Our CNC machine are the coded one. We do have those manual machines. But when you leave VHEMBE, you leave with this Spice Up instruments. We also assist the students with disability, where we use, different kind of, we use technology to assist those students to learn. When you go to our clothing plant, there's always a spice up of fourth industrial revolution that is coming in. We also have another lab that is called an ICT lab. This ICT lab, it works with financial accounting, especially for financial accounting students. When you get there, you'll see laptops, but what is inside the laptops? It's technology that one could actually ask for and say, I wish to go back to school. We've got an HP Life, it's a lab. It's called HP Life Center. What I like about this center is that you go there, it talks to you. When you leave there, you have printed your certificate. It's got modules about entrepreneurship and all those. And all these things that I'm actually talking about, those are the things that I said we are go-getters. We got them donated from somewhere else. And your IDC, your CEDA, your ETDP CETA, we sit down and write proposals, because we wanted to bring English home and say, come and learn from where you are. That's our disability center. What you see, those are on YouTube. That's our disability center. And Pastor, I can tell you, get into that lab. You come out, you can speak your sign language, because it's a combination of a lab where the deaf and the blind, learn in the same place. They come into that lab alone to learn what they've learned. You've got keyboards that are yellow, that are enlarged. You can, you can adjust your screen. You don't need your glasses to be there. You just adjust the screen in colors and also with the sizes. So that's what our disability deaf and blind student does when they come there. So in terms of labs, we've got a lot of labs. That's our clothing plant. It's not a workshop where you train. This is where now, when you have completed, you're coming to do the production. At the back, we've got a fourth industrial machine of branding, where you don't go and work with that machine. You code it.
Wow.
When it's time to doing embroidery, you just tell the machine what to do, and it does, I think, 6 garments per minute. So that's why I said, in whatever we do, we bring in fourth industrial revolution within so the whole campus. It's all about coding machines, and that's what is happening. You'll see people working with their laptops, and the college is also known for online.
Oh yes.
All the programs that I'm talking about, we no longer want students to come. We don't have students during January. We don't want students to come and queue, because we are saying, do whatever you are supposed to do, starting from applying, and register from home. So you will do everything at home. Our IT guys are sitting on the background, assisting you with WhatsApp. When you come across the problem, they'll say, shoot the screen that is giving you a problem, send us a message, they unlock it for you. Oksala, you're home, doing whatever you can do. So we have brought in technology in such a manner that people doesn't believe we're in rural. But we have never allowed anybody else to say, you are in rural, how are you going to do? People can discourage you to say, no, the student from this village cannot. We did a research, and we didn't rely on a formal research. We did a research ourselves, where we'll sit down, pick up the students that are coming from Nian. We phone them one by one on a cell phone. Can you pick up a phone? When you answer, does it go to voicemail? So we had our own statistics to say we are servicing the people from this place, and then this is what. So we don't have everything, but we've got something for someone. When you approach Tvet, VHEMBE Tvet College, there's definitely something. When you go to Mashamba, there's a program called agriculture, primary agriculture and farming. And when we talk about Limpopo, that's what we are known for. We grew chicken there. We take them from 2 days, 3 days, and then until it becomes, a chicken that you can eat. You've got your cows. They show you how to breed them and all those. But the interesting part now at Mashamba is the greenhouse issue.
Oh yes.
Which I normally indicate that to say, look, we are one and the only in Limpopo as a Tvet college to have that greenhouse. Obviously, the interesting part about the greenhouse is technology that is being utilized there. When you enter the greenhouse, you don't find plants that are growing in the soil. You see them growing on air. And you ask yourself that to say, are they working? You don't find water watering the plants, but they're actually growing. At one stage, we were able to package your salad tomatoes, your cucumbers. The interesting part is that whatever takes 90 days to grow and be harvested, you're going to find yourself taking 45 to 60 days. So the production period, it's actually interesting. And all these things, as I said earlier on, that as we travel to Netherlands and other places, we learn the interesting part about the greenhouse is that University of Stellenbosch, became our partner. You know, I don't know whether they flew and jumped everything, skip all these colleges from Stellenbosch, and they find themselves in a village called Mashamba where our campus is. And they just come and planted this greenhouse, and it's doing miracles, because when you leave Mashamba with primary agriculture, you know how to plant to do the plant production in a normal way, but you also know how to do it in a greenhouse where you sit and program, mix things outside, and they move with, you know, it sounds like a train, things moving to go and water. It's very, very interesting. And you know, I know when people I'm talking about it outside, they ask, is this thing that you're saying is real? And I'm saying, come and watch, send your kids, they will tell you what's happening in those campuses. So unfortunately, the primary agriculture, it's only at Mashamba, but our collaboration, it's working. We've got your IDC. IDC, when we talk about this coding machine in engineering, they are the funder for that.
Oh, yes.
So we just write proposal, they say, what do you want to do? They come and assess. We know what to do. Tomorrow we've got a funding, we give them a report that we bought the following. They come and assess what you have done. So the programs at the Tvet College, it's very amazing. This is only for VHEMBE Tvet College, but when you move around other Tvet colleges, you'll find artificial intelligence. You'll find clouding, you'll find those that got turned into the space of wanting to implement innovation. So what we are dealing with now in terms of program, it's employability.
Oh, yes.
As I said, that when you leave a Tvet college, we're looking at these three things. You don't come out of that college without fitting into one of the three.
Yes.
It's either you must be employed or you're able to start your own business. So we've got a center for entrepreneurship that each and every student, if you're a passion, you want to start your own business, before you leave the college, the Center for Entrepreneurship should have assisted you in opening or registering your business within the college. You should have been taught modules on HP Life Center. It's funded by HP, you know, the Hewlett Packard. They funded us that lab. When you get into that lab, as I've indicated, you learn every skill in relation to do business, your entrepreneurship, your project management on your own. You just log in, you teach yourself, and then it prints the certificate that you have completed the module. In terms of, you learn how to market yourself in a social media and all those things. So that's actually, those are the programs that the Tvet College, it's actually, but now we are moving too much into the space. Pastor, we've got 7 campuses at the college, and you ask yourself, how do I move around?
How do you move around?
I do not move around as much as I can. The guys have implemented drones. I just sit in the office, they show me what's on those campuses. We have just graduated 6 drone pilots from civil aviation. People are still asking, what are you doing with aviation? I said, wait and see, because tomorrow we'll be flying drones that are going to be watering the plants, that are going to be dropping your parcel where you are. And that is the aim, to say, bring it on, bring technology. So whatever we are doing, we first use it at the college, because we are using a drone since 2019. But we went to actually graduate people, so that the municipalities and the subs and whatever, and we are telling them to say, when you want to monitor the taxi rank, we have produced the drone pilots that are certified by civil aviation, so that they can fly bigger drones. So they're just waiting for you to come and grab them to utilize the opportunity when there's, because we took a space where the municipality during COVID, they wanted to monitor. They had drones, but there was no one to fly those drones.
Okay.
We have entered into a space of road construction. We are moving into innovation. Our students now are learning to mix concrete with plastic. And we are told that when they patch the potholes, water is going to come on top of those potholes. So we are just moving into the space where we are learning. We just graduated 35 students now in terms of fixing the cell phones. You know, when you move around, who fixes the cell phones? But we are saying we can do it.
Wow.
So we just graduated, and that program was being funded by Huawei. So everything that we do, there's partnership into it, because government doesn't have money to do other things as they're funding.
God.
But we need to be innovative to be able to do that. So our kids from VHEMBE, the district and around, they are going to take up space that were being taken by other, because I can tell you, the students that have just graduated in fixing the cell phones, they move to Center for Entrepreneurship now. They must be able to get, because CEDA, your CIFA, your NYDA, LEADER, they are linked to us. They are going to assist those students to buy those smaller equipment, so that they can start moving around and do and fix the cell phones.
Sure. CEO, I'm blown. I'm blown. I must be honest. My viewers and listeners, I sit here, it's like I'm dreaming. You know, when the CEO is she's unpacking what they are doing, is just amazing. And I just sometimes take long because I'm do not wait for employment, or doers, so to say, sorry, doers do not wait for employment. Wow, there is no barrier whatsoever. That's very true. And I see also here, Rulan Munyaish is also one of the lecturers in one of the colleges. Very true. All our learners need, she wanted to say, all our learners need is knowledge, and mostly the skills so that they apply the knowledge perfectly. Very true. And then I see Roland Balo saying, great to hear technology being implemented in our rural province. Just here. And I must say to you, my viewers and listeners, I'm visiting the college. Most of what the CEO is saying, she's saying here, I'm going to really bring it to you. And here we have, I think this is at Mashamba, ne?
Yes, that's at Mashamba.
That's at Mashamba. And then look at the greenhouse. She spoke about these are things that are really happening. So it's not talk shop farming here. I think these are, milk is it's right here. I see milk here. But I just want to say to my viewers and my listeners, most especially parents, and also you young people at high school, because it is very much important for you to know that I know I'm a Lipompian. One of the things that is true about us, especially when we pass our grade 12, we want to go far, I like the John Dalaksu, I think I go good at any. But listen, the opportunities that you will get from here are unmatched. And some of these opportunities, they are going to take you further, not just far when you talk of Cape Town, but like she said, you'll find yourself in the US, you find yourself in the UK, you find yourself in wherever you want to be in the globe, because the quality of training that you get is amazing. You are watching Love SA with the CEO of VHEMBE Tvet College, Ms. Basani Hlekane, a very passionate woman when it comes to vocational education and training. And you can see what she's talking about. Our time now is about 6 minutes to 7. We still have quite some time. And I sit back here, nola kufulela nitsika hikuva mani basani inkava va nga heti leswi va swi khomeke swi and I would love for us to glean from the wonderful things that she's sharing with us. But allow me now to get one of the products, or even before then, CEO, your college is now celebrating 60 years. And that's a milestone. In fact, I'm almost the age mate of this college. And tell us a little bit about that, and how you're celebrating it, and what are some of the things that you're zooming into. I think one of them is from a technical college, or from an Ambach to a college that is using these very highly sophisticated technological equipment like the robots, the drones. Hey, the drone issue, my God, that blows my mind. She says she's not really traveling and driving from one college to the other, but drones, they do the work. And celebrating 60 years, what can you say to us?
Celebrating 60 years means a lot to the college itself. And I will say, to me and the others as we work, the college has been there before some of us were born. And if the college has been there, we are there now, and we also need to work as if the college will be there even when we are no longer there.
Powerful.
So it's the issue of let's leave something that so that those that are gonna be there when we are not there, they can be able to again celebrate 100 years or more. It's also us recognizing to say we need to show off that the college has moved from point A to point B.
Sure.
Because if we've got nothing to say, the college was here and today is here, we can just pack our bags and go. So that is actually the aim. And also to recognize to say, while we are there now and we find comfort of technology and all those things, there are people who started with it and start from somewhere else. So that needs to be recognized, and also to show off the products that came. So it's also again that issue where you're saying people, when they look at Tvet colleges, they still think of those. So it's a matter of showing off. So the whole year, starting from March, we'll be celebrating we just want colleges to be made known, even though we'll be focusing on only our college. But I think it will assist us to so we just want to use the knowledge and the skills that we have to show off to everyone to say, come and see what we are doing. You might not be able to be invited on that day due to limits, but we're opening up a year. We are inviting visitors to say, make an appointment, come and take rounds with our college. And we want parents to come more so that they can be, those who have come to our campuses now, they are saying, is this a school or factory? Because they do not understand anymore. There's production. When you live there, you'll be given protective clothing. You ask yourself, where am I? And all those things. We keep on exploring. If you were there 2 years ago, every year now we're launching projects to say, now it's this, now it's that. So that's what we are trying to show, how we're growing. But it's getting into people to say, other countries that you see, like your Germany and China and others, Tvet colleges are playing a major role in terms of the economy and in terms of the environmental situation of their communities. So we'll be looking at also we worked in isolation with basic education, but we have realized when I went to US, I realized that there's something that is called junior achievement. I did not understand. But when I went there, I realized that the college is saying, as you are still young, what can you be interested in? So they put slots where the student will go in and act as a manager. Student will go in and act as an engineer. And as they grow, they start realizing their passion. What is it that they want to do? So we are collaborating more with basic education now, because we want to kill that stigma to say, starting from the junior age, these kids must know there's Tvet College.
Yes.
They must grow up with that passion to say, I must learn to do, even if I know. So that is the aim. We'll also be looking at our existence. What do we have for community? Planning to raise, if possible, plus minus 600 back to school shoes that we need to actually give out to communities. I hope and I believe that we're going to raise more than that. And we're inviting communities to say, please support us, because that day it's all about our communities. We have started doing a lot with communities, but this whole year you'll hear us on radio. We'll hear more. We've got secrets that we are not actually even talking about now. It's like projects to be unveiled in the process. So every year we have little bit of something that we say, this is new and this is targeted for this particular. But we are aiming more on communities because our students are there. They are accessing, and I'm happy, and I want to thank the community of VHEMBE district because they play along. When we say online, everything, they follow. They do not listen to other people who says don't apply. Those that did not apply, they are actually struggling now. But you cannot open up for somebody who didn't apply when you have 23,000 applications.
True.
So if our parents are still saying colleges are not way to go, there are other parents that are saying it's a way to go, because 23,000 applications, it's not a child's play.
It's not a child's
so
play.
That is the aim, to say, let us be the first choice.
Yes.
Not to say if I don't get admission.
Yes,
so that's the message that we are trying to. But we'll be showing off more on the day of our products, what our students can do. So there's going to be more of exhibitions. And we want those that went through our hands to present. We have students who are actually supplying your Pick and Pay boxer and others with chilies and whatever. And they tell you they've studied at Masham. I've started at the backyard with the chilies. Now I'm doing different kind of chilies and I'm supplying. So they are showing off where they get contracts and be able to do the businesses that they are owning today. So the Center for Entrepreneurship does a lot of research. They'll get you funding if you want to start a business. If they don't get you money, they'll get you the machine that will help you get started. So it's just the interesting part.
The Center for Entrepreneurship, when we come, because that one is, I think, is the heart. When we talk about you've got a skill, you can do something for yourself. But the Center for Entrepreneurship, I think that's very important. And when we come back, let's look at that. But now, allow me to, in celebrating 60 years of VHEMBE Tvet College, you know, it came a long way as Finyazand, and people trained there. And I also am a product of a technical college called Giani Technical College, Ambach, as it was said. Hey, and you know what? Things happened and things are happening. And I want us to have a look, or let's just take this break and hear what this man has got to say.
My name is Aubrey Muraozi. I was born in a village called Chimbufe, far away from the city. I attended my school until grade 10, which during those time was standard 8. And in my standard 8, I passed well maths and science. I get a distinction in maths and science. Nova Bibanga, Baringauri, Patas of the Ufunoya, we are Pandawaita 10 and 12, which is now grade 11 and grade 12 for Ukonaya University, because they were Patas of that is so that I didn't want to go to the university. I wanted to go and learn a trade. I wanted to know something, like, especially I wanted to become a mechanic. I have another argument until Rich Tendelano, I must go to the FET, which was then, it was called Pinyazanda Technical College, or Ambach Wall in Afrikaans. And Toma my N1, FET, Yavembe Maparela, which it's called now, the Pata N1. I got also distinction in science and math. A petrol mechanic. I was fortunate in 1981. Which one apprenticeship from another company in Johannesburg. We were the first people to promote attenders apprenticeship. So I went to Johannesburg for 5 years. A diesel mechanic. During that time, the diesel is over the thing. It was only the truck. Why you want to change to go for a diesel truck? Diesel mechanic, do petrol mechanic, because diesel mechanic, the vehicle are not many. No, which says that Panda Goriza diesel is and then I passed my diesel mechanic trade theory in 1986 after 5 years, and then from then Ashuma until 91. 92, I started my own business, mechanical workshop. One day I have to own my own workshop after I've accumulated experience. That workshop, I name it Ops Motor and Diesel Center. Special diesel. So I remember when I opened it, I opened it in Payando, Chisauru. So I ran it from 1992 until today. I'm still running it. Workshop, we started small, yes. In every business, you start small. Until people know that we can repair the vehicle in our area, because I was not known in that place. I spent many years in Gauteng or Johannesburg. From 1992, the business grew from 2. I employ 2 people until I employ more than 20-something people. My workshop now specializes in diesel mechanic. We work on government car, ESCOM, police, telecom vehicles. We used to work on those vehicles. We were all known in our area. So the business grew. I will encourage young people today to go to the FET more than to go to the university, because we are living in the world of technology where we need people who can invent something. uchichena chikoro uri kutozotoriwa karibe vatori zviyakonadzea azvi vangatokuvona ngari hazvikonadzei zviyakonadzea like today we are short with the in our workshop we are looking for mechanic and we cannot get them. Other mechanical workshop which we know they are looking for the mechanic, they can't get them. Other people are phoning me from Johannesburg. They need people who knows how to repair, plumbing, panel beating, auto electrical. You know, we've got a lot of vehicle in South Africa, so we need young people to know those jobs, because if we check, the old people are going away and then we are short with skills. At the moment, there's a problem. That's where it's come. Because of the shortage of the skill, we cannot expand our mind. So that is for strike and encourage vasha kavaye ngavunji FET, and from there vato then as practical ara zvichikonadzea ngachinari vana kavatome primary level to learn this technology. We check some other countries, China navo Japan navo America vane vakobvelela. They started their technical training when they are at the primary school. So I wish maybe we can follow that route. It will help our youth which are unemployed today.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
Yo, Ndibo Aubrey, Baba Bachko Amba. Yo, thank you, Aubrey. Thank you so very much for bringing such light and for telling us that he passed well in his standard 8 back then, which is grade 10 now. Yeah, grade 10. Did well with maths, distinctions, science, distinction. And the parents said, go to varsity, but he said, my passion is this side. And he's doing well. So it is not for people who are not good in maths. In fact, if you are good in maths, come to VHEMBE Tvet College. Yeah, that's where you're supposed to be, because things are happening here. I hear people saying, wow, Dr. Rexon Manganyi says here, this college is well marketed. Big businesses only mix with well-packaged brands. This institution is a game changer. You are right, Doc. This institution is a game changer. And Sue Chauke, also from the Department of Education, do you have exhibition days? When are you planning to have it this year? Okay, that will be answered also. And Pastor Jalen saying, great work, CEO Basani and VHEMBE Tvet family. Yes, great work indeed. And then, I think it's Rosemary who says, wow, all this right here in our province? Yes, right here in our province. That is why I must say, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be fair if I don't bring the CEO back to Minkondo Yatingwazi, celebrating her and giving her flowers while she can still smell them. I must be honest with you, she is doing a great work with her teams. And I would love, just before she comes back and tell us or answer those few and comment on what Aubrey has said, I would just love to hear from another product of VHEMBE Tvet College as we celebrate 60 years of this college. And I must say, CEO, what you have done to this college, it's like I can call all my colleagues from Finyazwan and say, let's go and see and be shocked and be excited and become the ambassadors for the Tvet, because it's doing wonders. They have just, it blows your mind when it comes to technology is something else. Let's hear what this gentleman has to say.
Calvin. Ndo bebiwa hanipa Chisaulu. Ndi mutrene ndavana workshop ya panel beater, auto body repair, nditazobodulula nopenda gurui anepa Chisaulu, workshop ya anepa Chisaulu. Ndi mutrene ndoguda mushumo uyu Tvet ngachipinga checho ngana 1990 na 91 yoveka diuzo Finyazwanda Technical College. Ndo yandaita 2 years yaninge raguda N1 N2 and then write practical. Ubanepo ndaya ndashuma na-instructor wanipofunya zvanda ndashuma namumwe wa mutechnician ene aita zvorebuilda dzigurui ndashuma for 2 years. I think 93 94 95 ndova ndikotoma business yanga ane pachisauru ndava ndikobhodhurura ndikopenda vathu vatakarira business vageva vakudhiisa ngoraro kusvikira ichirejistariwa 2004 yavotoma voshuma iprofessional yorejistariwa. Kubva nepo voradiva vari kudzitora navathu kusvika zvino vanodiva navathu ono about vathu va 14 vene vava kushuma nepantaka autobody shop. Ushuma mishumo yazvanda vathu vangazvinyadza fedzi uyanga nenga ndiko yanga nanga experience kendava nacho ndikovona zvichidava zvotusa ngori repakati disadvantage area repakati disadvantage background ndimuthu ane ndowaluswanga mubhebhe mutsvikwe mubhebhe wanga worova kare vakotsi yanga 1988 so asara omukeguru fedzi vene vakoriyarusa ndizvo ndingamanza zvoritutuwedzawo ndadova ndatakadzwa ngori ndotutuwedzwa ngavamwe vevona kontraka vantutuwedza uri hano iwe uri tuzichimbiranga ntene uri uchiro baidhene waukware vari hai iwe yakuguda mushumo waguda mushumo udzokonodhemisa then ratutuwedza yanga mbireneyo kusvikira zvino I mean ushuma mushumo wotodhishuma iwe mune uchikokonotora vathu and wava ukokonodhishuma iwe mune wakonodhiita nazvithu zvinodhipira nazvithu zvanevo vathu vene wakoponga ndizvo zvava zvakwira kamusika mishumo menene yakushuma dziofisini naote ari kuwana nayo nendiyavhudhi mara chimwe chipinga ungatitiwana uchipira nane ungori so nendorali ndikofanyisa ndikuita chifanyiso nga nemunhu zvazvino ndonodhitovavona muti wanga ndinombi yanga ndinobaka ndui yavabhebhi ndosiyira petrol ndava ndorikudzurawo nendosiyira varatu and then nendonodhitovavo nachisensi yanga namuti wanga so zvazvino ndina workshop yanga ndi-independence and ndikodziringedza warusa business nonodiringedza warusa business nanga dzimwe ndira ndikodhivhenchara kabusiness ya transport ndinali lori ndikodiwara mitava namini and so ndingatoringa zvezvo ndiyatotowedza vaswa vose uri vasangonyadza mushumo wa zvanda mushumo wa zvanda ndichititurwa nekamanda ungadishuma kutoshuma kamumwe muthu mara wakonoshuma naiwo muno ukutotishumira iwo munhu and then wadikonotora vathu ngandani otoliwa wakonotora chirwane ndofulufedzera kushuma navathu ndingatoringani omaiti ndikotutuwedza vathu vaswa ngandele neyo uri vasangotolwela uri nawe ndotowa dziuniversity pedzi nango vasingouniversity vaya Tvet college vaya vaguda mushumo vakonoshuma vathusa shango vada vathusa na vathu sarinerera kuitisa zvone ndingatoringani amaiti ndi alivo.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7. Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
You are listening to Bold Moves Radio and watching Bold Moves Radio on YouTube and also on Facebook. Thank you so very much for being with us. We really appreciate. I must be honest. I'm touched. This honestly touches my heart because it brings home how many of our children are university graduates and are waiting for jobs, until they form the Association of Unemployed Graduates. It's painful because the money, the time, the commitment, the hard work, and some of them were supposed to be Vusmus. He's the first to go to varsity and to qualify for something, but because of joblessness, they cannot realize their dreams. But listen, with Tvet colleges, if you listen to these two gentlemen, they tell you, I worked 2 years and I was on my own and I'm growing. That's one beautiful thing about vocational education and training. You come up with a skill, you can work, you can do something for yourself. And I just want to hear from the CEO. CEO, what is your comment after these two gentlemen? And also the question about the open days, when we talk about exhibition. I know this lady, she's from the Department of Education. I know she wants to make sure that as a department, because some of these things we don't know, we don't know, and they're just here. That's why people are saying, wow, we don't know. And I can promise you, we are going to cover a lot of, in fact, we are going to cover the campus, we're going to cover the programs, we're going to cover it. And as they celebrate their 60th birthday, we will be on board. We will be making sure that we are pushing and making sure that we put the college in the world map and in the lives of people. And we have another program. It's called Explore the African Experience. We will also take it there, and let Africa know that some things are happening in Limpopo. And to you, our CEO, Miss Masan, thank you so very much. Your comment, and let's go and then go to the entrepreneurship side of everything.
And thank you very much. And I just want to say to our two ambassadors, I was not there when they trained, but I had to actually go and look for them. I know where Ops Motors is.
Yes.
And whatever he's telling you, it's actually true because we view. So whatever they are saying, actually, it actually boosts us up. They are our ambassadors, and I think Ops Motors will be there on the 31st because he's those people that we are using to research. So these guys, they are not actually. Remember, I spoke about 3 paths. To say you start your own business. They are no longer starting their own businesses or employed, or they are the employers, as you hear.
Yes.
And that is the interesting part to say. Growing from a Tvet college, you become an employer, but now I'm quite sure that once he had 14 panel beaters, it's no longer working. He point fingers to say you do that. So that is actually the interesting part. So the comment is that those kind of things that they're explaining, it actually boosts us up. We are proud about them. They know recently Ops Motors was visited because we just want to service them to say, look, are you doing well? I'll talk about it when I talk about the center. So we these are the things that we say there. And when Aubrey and the others trained, there was no center for entrepreneurship. They had to go out and do it themselves. So I'm saying to parents, the panel beta only formalized this business 2004. I'm saying as you leave the college now, the Center for Entrepreneurship assist you in your way to start your own business, to register it. So when you leave the college, you are already having documents that says you can go and operate formally. You're having your tax clearance. You're already complying because the Center for Entrepreneurship. So they studied while we are not there. We know about that, but we are saying those that are coming now, we are even more at the advantage stage because if we're all, they can do that at the time, there were not these things. What about more? When and they're showing their success stories, and we are that's why we are saying yes, we can talk about the Tvet colleges, what they can do, but here's an evidence and experience of others that we've got a lot that we are going to show that they actually do that. Coming from the center, okay, maybe let me ask for the open answer for the open day before I go to the center. And maybe Pastor and Bold Moose, we just want to say thank you very much because I want to answer the issue of the open day. That we deal with a lot of villages. We have 7 colleges around Limpopo. So each and every district has got its own, we've got Capricorns, Kukuna, there are Tvet colleges there, and they've got their own things that they are doing. They specialize in something in their own space. But in August, we call it an August month. It's a Tvet month where these 7 colleges come together and select a place. So when you go into that place, our Tvet colleges around Limpopo, they do not do the exhibition individually. You find them in one place. So if Waterbeck is hosting somewhere else, then they'll take from VHEMBE to Mopani. You'll find them with different stalls. So that's how. So in August is Tvet month. But I just want to say we are here today. We were at MLFM at another stage. Basic education, invite us. But we have also started with an initiative. That's why I'm saying on Thursday, I'm starting with the first high school. I'm going to do high schools until the whole of Feb, because I want to encourage them. So we are available. Our exhibitions are open-ended. It's just that we've got a formalized one, but formalized ones, we normally do them in the hall. So we can request that you can contact us. I'll give the details so that if you've got a specific area, because our open day is every day on our website, what we can do. But we do have those formal exhibitions. But if a special one is required, whichever college amongst the 7, it will talk to the other one and then we'll initiate. We've got people like Gabriel from Bangwa. He looks at this area. He actually supports this. He'll say, come. And we, even if sometimes they call us on the last minute, we always avail. So your municipal events, call us. call Tvet colleges to come and exhibit. There are formal ones where we can give the dates. Somewhere we come across with the universities. Like in an example, there's an exhibition that goes in Makado, and the other side is being done by Univen and VHEMBE Tvet College together. But at that time, Univen will call University of Limpopo, it will call TUT, and then VHEMBE will call other Tvet colleges to be in one place. Let me quickly go to the Center for Entrepreneurship. The Center for Entrepreneurship, it's called Center for Entrepreneurship and Rapid Incubation. There are things happening there.
Oh, yes.
Despite obvious, I said when you are having a passion for business, they take you from the scratch.
Yes.
You'll brainstorm with them your idea. They research it. They assist you with CSIR. We're partnering with them to say you've got an idea of a business. So there are those that they take them from the scratch. They've got programs that are going to teach you how to run a business. If your business need packaging or whatever, they will take you from that level and take you phase by phase until you are able to make a particular turnover. So they assist you with applying for funding. When you're already operating, you've got tenders, you don't have internet. When you come to the Tvet College, there's a space for community with small businesses to say, come and access the internet, come and do your quotations. You've got clients, you don't have a boardroom, you come and access that. And then you also learn other. So they also go out and support you to say, are you doing well? During COVID, we had to go out and check, are you surviving? What can we do? So there are businesses that we resuscitated because of suffering from the COVID time and all those. But the most important thing about the Center for Entrepreneurship, the Rapid Incubator and the Maker Space.
Oh, yes.
In this space, you find machines that it's difficult for a small business to can have that machine.
Okay.
But you are ought to manufacture something.
Oh, yes.
So that Rapid Incubator, this is where now you come and do the manufacturing. This is where you come and say, I'm in this manufacturing space. I want to see this thing before I produce it. You come and code it on a 3D printer. You print that whistle and say, I want to see this whistle. I want to see this cell phone cover. I want to see this stand. How is it going to look like? That is meant for community. Then we take you to the real production, that where now you come and produce the real thing that you... So the technical center that is there, it's got machines like your CNC, those who are in a business of producing bolt and nut. You come there with your material. If CEDA is not bought, then you do your business there because you are registered with us. We are supporting you. Then you can come and do your business there. You can come and print your billboards, whatever you want to use marketing to say, this is a way of going to my business. This is what I do with my business. You come and print there for free because it's meant to support. So the Center for Entrepreneurship, it's got a lot of things that community has to assess. You've got computers where you can brainstorm the new. We've got a guy who have produced, it's called Mahala water pump. It doesn't use electricity.
Okay.
He actually did it from VHEMBE Tvet, and he ended up arriving in a space where he produced it. It was live. We saw it there. We are hoping to invite him also during the 60th to say, show people how Mahala water pump works, so that when there's no electricity, as we see what's happening, then you can still pump water, even if you don't have. So there's a lot of inciting of ideas. What kind of business can I be able to do? That's why I'm saying it's surprising what our students are coming in an innovative manner and creative, because they sit in a center. But it also assists the businesses to say, you don't have internet at home, come and access internet, come and print your quotation. Come and Google and learn about your business. Those are facilities that are happening. I also earlier spoke about HP and MS Beck funding us the computers where people can learn. What is interesting in the HP, it's also part of Center for Entrepreneurship. There's a link, which I think when I come back, I have to take it to people to say, get into this link, learn about how to advertise in the social media. At the end, you print the certificate. You want to learn about how to run the finances of your business. It takes you 2 hours. I think there are 32 programs there. It's for free. So you just need to get a link. So we'll link you with a manager. We want to reach. So VHEMBE Tvet College is no longer more about the students that are inside. It's also for the community with what you are doing, so that you can be able to be assisted. That's why I'm saying there are machines that you can. I think the printing machine in the center, the one for wood and glass, I'm told it's very scarce in Limpopo. You cannot find it. So those that are printing in wood, those that are printing in a glass, they come and do it live there. You see, sometimes they print the trays and the boards and whatever. They come and do it there for free. because CEDA funded us to say support the small businesses that are there. That's why we took the small business people and actually give them the training where they acquired the drone licenses. I think you have seen people flying drones and they are not aware that those drones are dangerous. It's just that they're flying small drones that cannot do a harm, but one day is one day. So we are introducing, the aviation space within the province to say it doesn't have to be in planes, but people have to formalize whatever they are doing in the. So that's what actually Center for Entrepreneurship to see what kind of a business are you having, whether you're starting or you already have it. Come to us. Let's see how do we assist you, how do we market you. If you check people like Portia M, they were supported by these kind of innovations and businesses to say, this is how you can make. No, your packaging is not right. Spice it up and do 1, 2, 3 here. Can we assist you in getting funding? There are students from clothing. After they come out of our plant, they actually request for funding. They leave there already having machines to go and start. So they group each other and go and become the employers outside. And that is actually the interesting part, that instead of our kids coming back to you, they become criminals in the village. Now they are already having friends that are actually meant to be go-getters and go. So after you left, you have to leave the college because we've got a lot that are coming. When you become comfortable, we're not happy about that. We must train you must leave because we must open the space for other people. So we're teaching you independence to say you must live here and start your own business. Let your sisters and brothers also get an opportunity that you get there. So that's what the center is actually doing. And the numbers are very interesting because people are coming for training. The businesses are growing up. Some will come and say, I'm making a 15 million turnover in a year because you guys have supported me. This is where I've started. And the reason why I'm saying that, we innovated this from 2016 to date. All the things that we spoke about, it took us 5 years.
Just 5 years.
Just 5 years. The colleagues are working so hard. I know basic education will tell me that everybody seems to be a project manager in your college. And the answer is yes, because we taught them that what is the impact of what you're doing into the community. So even a lecturer that is teaching communication, she must also link with the entrepreneurship hub, because that English that they teach them, we want to see those that are going to start their business being utilized, that this person can communicate in a business manner because they were taught English in a particular place.
I must be honest, viewers and listeners, this is mind-blowing, honestly. And like I said, a CEO would really love to be an extension of your programs through this platform. And we are going to do exactly that, because I must be honest, for the longest of time, my passion for vocational education and training has been so much. And sometimes when you talk, I mean, even at church, sometimes when I start talking and, people think, what's wrong with this man? Because we must face it. We must be honest and we must be fair to our children. The CEO says, these ambassadors, they trained when we were not there, and they were in the college, and they are doing something, but we are now here in the college. They trained when it was Ambach. Now it's a Tvet college. We must make sure that we work on it so that by the time we hand it over, man, it's a better institution altogether. And already, I must be honest, it is. CEO, I must be honest, time says we cannot continue, but I would love for you to hear these two individuals and then give your closing remarks and parting shots. But I must say today right here that this is your platform, because the content that you have, the information that you have is nation building. Love SA as a program, it's about what am I doing to build my South Africa? How am I contributing? Instead of me complaining, is there something that I can do? You are doing it practically. You are equipping people. The Center for Entrepreneurship it's something else, because one is skilled, but you're also helped to position yourself and making sure that your skill is a business. So let's hear what this one has got to say, and then the last one.
Good afternoon, Pastor Strike. Good afternoon, Bold Radio viewers. My name is Philip Mavusha. I've got a story to share, especially on careers. When my son completed matric, I really wanted him to join me in my steel industry so that he could support me. But he wanted to do culinary arts. We had a big fight because I didn't see the future in that. Then I was advised by Pastor Strike to give him a chance to do what he enjoys. When I gave him a chance, he showed me a lot of energy in his career, which he had chosen. I can safely tell you he completed his diploma. Now he's working in Cape Town, but he's on the verge of going to cruise ship because he's just got his last visa from America and he's so upbeat about his career. He's enjoying doing what he loves. I always wonder if I had forced him to do what I wanted, where would he be? Probably he'll be a frustrated young man, maybe change careers along the way. My advice to parents, give your children a chance to do what they love. You can guide them, but don't force them to take up careers which you love or which they are not very passionate about. Give them a chance. They will enjoy doing what they are passionate about more than being forced to do something they don't enjoy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7. Bold News Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
I'm Gezan Phineas Baloyi from the University of South Africa. I'm in the College of Graduate Studies where I oversee issues of quality assurance and enhancement. Good evening, Sisi Basane, and welcome to the show. We are proud to have a school manager, a principal who is hands-on in terms of vocational education and training. Vocational education and training in South Africa, of course, it's underserved. I think this emanated from the years before democracy. It is important for us as a community, there are stakeholders that have an interest in education, and also Department of Higher Education and Training and the Department of Basic Education and Training to make the point that we balance general education and vocational education and training. So much has been written about vocation and education and training these days. I would support that the state of affairs in Tvet colleges is gradually improving. There are so many opportunities there. Gone are the days where we will regard these schools called Ambach as institutions which are a bit of inferior. As parents, it's important for us to encourage our learners to go to Tvet colleges, because in Tvet colleges, when they complete, they are able to come up with a particular experience in terms of contributing to the market. Currently, efforts are being made by the Department of Higher Education and Training to fund the students who go to Tvet colleges. So it is of no use for our students just to go in faraway place, leaving Tvet colleges behind. Those who have passed into Tvet colleges are also coming out to show the value of these Tvet colleges. When I was in Germany, somewhere around the 20, most of the students, when they pass, they go straight to Tvet colleges. So the economy of countries like Germany is being guided and supported by Tvet college students. It is in this context that issues of innovation is very high in those countries. So I think the time is now that we need to take this vocation, education and training very serious. Because in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship, that's where it is in abundance. Thank you very much, Pastor Strike and the audience for giving me an opportunity to say one or two words in terms of the value of these Tvet colleges.
Wow, that's Professor Gezani Baloyi from the University of South Africa. My God. Like I said, CEO, time is not on our side, but like I said, this is your platform anytime. If you want us to look at farming, if you want us to look at something, we are going to really make sure that we are available to promote this, because our children must know that, hey, this song of saying no job, it's not a genuine song. It's a scam, in fact. Jobs are there, but where are we? How are we positioned? How do we understand the economy, and how do we understand education? Is it a decoration, or is it an equipment that equips me and make me relevant to be employable, but at the very same time to employ others. CEO, your parting shots, your comments to the two contributors.
I think they just said the mouthful in support of what we said,
Mm,
to say, parents, let's look out for Tvet colleges. And I just want to add, those who have passed metric, they will let you know how difficult is it, or has it started to be in a Tvet college now, because when you are still undermining Tvet colleges, as they say, others are seeing it as an opportunity, so they run there first. That's why now so the doors of Tvet colleges are not being closed, but I'm just saying they're becoming too small now, because a lot of people are looking out for that. So our two colleagues, I think they just said the mouthful to say, look, this is their experience. The story of Germany tells itself everywhere, because that's where the cars that we love, your BMW and whatever. And if you go to those, they'll tell you that from high school, we've got a lot of students that are going to Tvet colleges than universities, and they get employed. I mentioned Germany, and the professor here is also mentioning Germany. You said earlier on to say, you need not your distinctions for you. It's not about you going to study a degree. It's about what do you want to do after studying. So you get admitted into where you want, but at the end of the day, what you want to become. Having a degree sitting with it doesn't help. Having a diploma from the college sitting with it doesn't help. You need to be doing something with what you have done. That's why we are also getting a lot of university students. I believe one university will do a research. We are enrolling a lot of university students coming back to us saying, I also need this knowledge.
Yes.
I know we are doing it on our side, that they are from university, but now they want to study with the Tvet college on top of what they have. I know most started the other way around, start with Tvet colleges and then they moved and university. But maybe in summary, I want to say we are all yours. And I also want to encourage the listener from basic education to say, we are in your space. We partnering with the MEC. She's already in our space, the district. Let them shout to us. We'll respond at any time that we want to respond. If you want to call maybe the VHEMBE Tvet College, let's go with 015 963 and then 7000 or 7002. So you can just make a proposal. Will help you be able to contact other Tvet colleges as you need. So to pass the strike.
If you could repeat it, CEO, let me put down so that it's on the screen.
Okay, it's 015 963 7000 and they can ask for marketing, or 7002.
Okay, or 7002.
So we are saying to the bold moves, I think you've realized what you have done already. It's not about promoting VHEMBE, but I like that you are making us reach the community. You are making communities realize what Tvet colleges can do, or what can come into their space without knowing. So we just, as VHEMBE Tvet College, we just want to say thank you very much. We heard you that this is a space that we can use, and we are definitely coming back because we do have a lot to offer. We actually gave you short information, but as you said, that will take time where we visit Mashamba, and the broadcast is all about Mashamba, so that people can learn a lot about the greenhouses and all those that are actually happening there. To the viewers and listeners, utilize our space. We can change some of the things that are problematic. I spoke about the project of the potholes and whatever. We are not looking at that space. We are also venting into the space of how are we going to assist the ESCOM, because we do offer, electrical engineering. We will actually deal with the programs that is going to come into that space. And we want to say to the listeners and viewers, thank you very much for listening to us.
Wow. Wonderful listeners, wonderful viewers, thank you so very much for being with us until now. I know you do not regret. And Dr. Randu Menga says, the CEO oozes passion. Keep going. Thank you so very much. Those are flowers to our CEO here. And then we just want to say thank you. Thank you also for your comments. And there are the numbers. Let's keep in touch with the college, with marketing. They will take you through a lot of stuff. They are so passionate. I've been interacting with marketing. I must be honest with you. I have a lot of materials here that they have sent, but I just want to go and capture it and make interviews so that we are able to continue helping our children. CEO, we have started a department here in church, a department of education. We have the HOD with Dr. Mangani, and we're serious about taking this thing head on and giving our children guidance. We said from primary, we want to guide our children, we want them to know that there's vocation, education, and training, like as much as there's the mainline training that we know where you go to varsity. And we want to say tonight, even to some of our students that maybe you have been excluded in university programs, please, maybe it's a blessing in disguise so that you may pick up something that is going to really make you change the world. It's about contributing. We just want to say to the CEO, and we want to say to VHEMBE, Tvet, marketing team, want to say thank you so very much. The lectures, also the ambassadors for this college, we want to say thank you so very much for gracing our platform and for reaching out. And we are saying we will be there and want to capture more. We want to talk to your students, want to talk to different colleges. We did not talk of Makwarela today here, but there are colleges that I must be honest with you, you need to hear exactly what they are doing. Thank you so very much. That was Love SA with me, Pastor Strike. And no, this is not my program. Ntembo Mangani is leading this program, but you know, after Chenchile Amakomich, you know, I felt no, I must come with the CEO on this platform or on this program. But she's coming back on me, Nkondi Atingwazi, as soon as we can secure that appointment. Thank you so very much. A blessed evening to you all. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio, and you are watching us on Facebook and also on YouTube. Thank you so very much.